Those are clean. That's what you say.
What is
like
clean?
When
Is that
when
like
it's
a term?
real? Yeah, it's like when it's really
gosh.
it's not
Real
like
tight?
all funky colored. It's just like those are
Oh.
clean.
Oh gosh,
Dude, that's slay.
that is so sliv.
Welcome to Old Guys Playing Games. Jason kind of got it in there, but it wasn't as successful as he usually is. But we're back here. Stuart is 3D printing. I hope he's not having his allergic reactions because that scares me when that happens.
He has a face mask now.
I do it.
Good. Let's not asphyxiate. So, yeah, we're back, and we've got a couple of good topics today. And let's start off on something that we never talk about ever on this show is Call of Duty. So a lot has happened this week with there's been a ton of news around Modern Warfare 2, and admittedly I did not get to watch too much of it, but I know the other people in this group have. So
Are you really a fan then? That's the question.
Yes,
Because we've
I'm a
all seen
fan.
it. Okay.
I mean, I guess, I was working and stuff, so that's cool. I'm not anyway. So just let's start going around the horn. What have we seen? I've heard some stuff here and there, but let's start with spin the wheel. Stuart.
Hey, I'm the winner. Thank you, Josh, and thanks for inviting me to this fun show. So yeah, I did watch part of the live stream, and then I watched gameplay since with a lot of the YouTubers who play, and I guess they're also Twitch people. I guess I don't know. I'm not on Twitch, but because I'm an old guy. But there's a couple things. The graphics look really good, so let's put that out there. That it looks like it's built for next gen, which is good. The current version really doesn't look overly next gen-y compared to what we had before.
So it's got ray tracing and high FPS.
Yeah, high triangles, Jason. High triangles. Yeah, it's good.
Lots of polygons.
Lots of polygons. A couple things that I noticed. The guns seem more realistic, and when you shoot them, there's definitely a lot more realistic sounds and looks and feels to the game. The interesting thing, and I know, Jason, I'll leave this for you to talk about a little bit on the gunsmithing, but there is a new way to earn things. It's not the way it was before. A couple things I saw, and it seems like some things are different. When you open boxes or supply boxes, stuff doesn't pop out. You sort of got to pick what you want. Right, there is stuff all over the map. There's things on shelves. There's things on counters. So, like, if instead of having like a crate that has money in it, there'll be like a cash register, right? Or there's things all over. So that's sort of cool. It's going to be a new one for us to get used to, sort of where you find stuff and how you get it.
I wonder who will love that in this group.
Wait, so can we
Yes.
dig into that for a second? So
Yes.
box opens up, and you can't just like race to it, Jason, and take everything that's
This
there.
is correct.
Like you have
gotta-
to pick it up. You have to say, "Oh, I want that," and then
Yeah,
pick
the
it
way
up.
it works is
click
it
and pick.
opens up, and you see you see all like you see little squares and everything. You just you click. I assume that's going to work on console the same way. You click what you want, and as you go buy stuff, there's stuff everywhere, right? It looks like there's, and I'll get to the map stuff in a second.
So let's actually. Yeah, I want Ken to,
You want to
because this
peel
is
that
all
open?
I'll
Ken's
elaborate.
finding
I mean,
stuff.
Peel it open, Ken. Peel it open.
You're bringing up topics and then you're jumping to another one. I think we need to elaborate just a little bit. So the new looting, as he alluded to, is
I have a name, Ken. It's not just
don't-
E.
Yeah, I know. Like his name is Stuart.
when the box opens, you actually get to choose attachments or a new weapon, but you're not going to get an epic weapon or something like that. You will get the base weapon, and then you can add attachments to it from the box.
Or other boxes. Like if you get one
Yeah.
base weapon, then you might find a sight in another box somewhere else.
Correct.
That's cool.
And it will match your the weapon you have, from what I understand.
So let's
it's not like you're
unpack
gonna
that.
pull. You get to pick what you want.
I like to call the base weapon the platform, like the MP40 platform. Okay.
The silhouette. Let's unpack that for a second. So let's say we're in a heated firefight and we need to open up a box to try to get something. That seems like a dangerous proposition, no?
Yeah.
Because you
So
don't
it
have time
does-
to kind of just say, "Oh, I'm going to pick that." You know?
Yeah, so if you're in a firefight, like say you're surrounded, the house is surrounded, you're in the house, and you're not going to be sitting there trying to open up a box alone to try to pick
Yeah.
your site. You're going to want to make sure you have protection, or wait until it's clear before you open the box.
I wonder if the boxes will get more sophisticated in terms of how long the stuff that comes out of them stays around the box. It's always frustrating when you come back 10 minutes in a spot that you thought there was something, or you remember there was a precision airstrike and it's no longer there. It's not because someone else grabbed it, it's because it's like disappears. So I think it'd be really cool if like you opened it up and you're like, oh, I'm not going to take that med kit. And then like you go to a few houses and you're like, oh shoot, there was no more med kits. I got to go back and get that med kit.
So that's the other thing is I don't think that the boxes will have stuff like that. I think it's just going to have weapons.
Oh,
So
really?
It's going to have secondary weapons. It's going to have attachments. It's going to have the grenades and stuff like that because they're moving the med kits to other locations that you can loot. So now you can actually pick up med kits in medicine cabinets in bathrooms. And this goes on to another topic as far as these locations for medicine cabinets and POI caches and military crates. They will all be consistent, meaning they will always be in the same spot. They will always be on the map. So that makes it a little easier because people will start to develop paths through the map because they know where all of this stuff is.
Easier or harder, as it were, right? Because if
Yeah.
everyone remembers the good spots, then
It's interesting.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big things I think will be weird for us to get used to, and I think the fact that stuff is like in every room has something. I mean, when I was watching gameplay, there's always one little item in almost every room. There's a lot of new things too, but that's
We're
going to
gonna
be
have
fun
to
to see.
Pull Ken along every room that Ken
Who wants
goes
to
in.
talk about the bots?
Well, hold on. There was one more thing with regard to looting that I heard, but I don't think they didn't talk a lot about, and I haven't found an article explaining it, but they also mentioned that there were actually hidden caches, like someone would dig a hole and put in ammo and stuff and then bury
Come
it back
on.
over. There are hidden ones, and they are always consistent at the same place on the map always, every time you play. That is what I heard them say. But I have not found an article or anything to support that. But
So hearing all this, doesn't that kind of, I don't know, it creates more of the like get on the escalator thing to me, as opposed to this being an open world where stuff changes all the time. Because if everybody knows, okay, well, this cache is always here,
yeah,
everyone's going to flock to it, as opposed to, well, sometimes it's
potentially,
there,
but I think there's
sometimes
going
it's
to be
somewhere
so
else.
many options, though. I think.
Oh, okay. So
the
true, if
island,
it's volume.
not the island, but
The island's it's big.
It's the biggest map they've ever made. So it's bigger
What
than
is it?
Caldera.
What is the geography? I mean, is it an island?
It's called Al Mazrah, and it looks like it's a Middle Eastern style in the architecture and some of the flora and fauna, as it were, or flora. A lot of sand. There is some oases. There's so it looks pretty cool. Actually,
There's an observatory. There's a bunch of
there's a guy. It's got a beach. It's on the ocean side, but it also has a mountainous side on the other side, kind of like Verdansk had, where it did have a beach side, but it also had the mountainous side. So something like that as well. But it's much larger apparently.
Okay, yeah, I just get, and this might be shocking coming from me, but the predictability of it. That's why I like Warzone. Is it's the open world versus a multiplayer map where
it's still open, and they've tried. They were talking on the thing. There's a couple things they've tried to do, both on this map and like the 6v6 maps and others. Is they're trying to adjust them for the type of gameplay that's going to happen on the maps. So like on the 6v6, there's a little bit more sort of places and nooks and crannies, right? And they have a shipment map that's almost a bigger shipment. Like it's a shipment style map, but a little bit bigger than the normal shipment. So I think the way they talked about it in the live stream, and Josh, that may be one worth you going back and watch. The developers thought how they tried to tweak it for type of gameplay.
Interesting.
So I'm excited about really they looked at all the maps to see if there was a way they could. So it's not going to be cookie cutter new version of the same map as we've always seen it, right, Cam? Which they've done in the past, right? You just get a higher res version of a map we've seen before. Some of there are components of these maps that are similar to previous maps, but that are new. Right?
Did I see correctly that Terminal is back?
Oh,
I saw something.
see that.
I didn't watch the multiplayer section as closely. I don't know what the maps
I
are
love
called
that.
or what they are.
What's
I love
Terminal again,
that.
Josh?
Terminal it's most of it's like in an airport terminal,
airport,
but
right?
the outside
Oh,
you
yeah.
can go through the planes. There's a couple of planes.
Right.
what was the name of that one? It
It's-
was like Russian something. I can't remember. Yeah.
So, yeah, I saw on Twitter a screenshot of that. I just assumed it was it. So, Stuart, you said something about Invasion, and you were like, "Oh, well, that's going to be Josh's favorite."
That's all
Like,
Josh.
tell me about that one. What is that?
Yeah. Let me go back and look. 'Cause when they announced it, I'm looking at the
It's
I'm
20
looking at
on
the maps.
20 with AI.
Yeah. So by the way, I'm looking at the 6-on-6 maps right now. So let me tell you what they.
We could actually, not now, but couldn't we watch PlayStation people on Twitch playing it right now?
Yeah, of course we can. There's lots of guys on YouTube that have played. So so real quick, there's 5 core maps have been confirmed. There's Valderas Museum. I saw that one. That's pretty cool. Farm 18, Mercado Las Alamos, Brenberg Hotel, and the Marina Bay Grand Prix. Right. Museum is
that
one of the
sounds
largest ones, and you can go look these up. They're really cool looking maps. The Mercado looks like a Mexican or Spanish town.
That they said the Mercado's real tight, so that's going to be a lot of
That's
lot
all
of action
Josh.
in that one. It's a very small map.
So aside from the core 6v6 maps, there will be 2 larger maps for modes such as Ground War, which they have this unique take on Ground War they were talking about. There's one called Seraph Bay. Will bring players to a fishing village where you'll be able to explore the surrounding waters and benefit from brand new swimming mechanics. The interesting thing about the swimming, all weapons don't work underwater. The only weapons that work underwater is a pistol. And so you can jump into the water for defense to save yourself from getting shot, which is pretty cool.
Let's go back. Let's talk more about the water, though. They did a really good job with the look and physics of the water. Plus, there's water vehicles, combat water vehicles that are in it now, so you can actually be boating down the river, shooting people as well, which I thought was very cool.
Well, we had some of that and I'm not sure why we stopped playing that one, but
Well, it
forget
was
what mode that
it
was.
it was combined arms. They
Combined,
were
yeah.
large scale maps, like the one that was two ships, 2 battleships,
Yeah,
two,
that was fun.
or 3 actually. But
Oh yeah.
that was but the one he's referring to, Ground War, was the one where it was basically domination, but it was on a very large scale. But you had tanks and you had AP personnel
These?
carriers, APCs.
Yep.
But we didn't play it all that much because it was too big and it wasn't as fast paced as you guys prefer. So it was we don't play that one as much. But the multiplayer combined arms was the one that had the ships, and then there was another one that had a frozen lake in the middle and some other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That one's back too.
So,
Those are back.
so I found Invasions. Let me give you this. So I think it's the AI bots and how they work, Josh, which may or may not you like, but these bots are supposed to be really good. So, so you basically start with multiple squads of operators fighting alongside AI combatants. So each side has AI teammates with them, all pursuing objectives within their respective headquarters. Each team will be pushing forward to a front line, which shifts your respawn locations. And due to AI teammates, it promises more troops than any previous ground war experience. And the AIs are smart. Now, we'll see how smart, but I mean, I saw them running, hiding, reacting, right? Which they don't do today. They just sort of stand there and get shot. And also, this is the other thing that I'm not sure I will like, but maybe you guys will. They've actually introduced a third-person multiplayer where you can actually be shooting outside of your
Ken
body.
will not like that. I can tell you right now.
Third
Ken is-
person view. So it's very similar to what they're doing with the Ghost Recon.
Ghost
series,
Recon.
because that's a third person view, but it's not permanent. You can choose to have it or not. But it'll be interesting because sometimes I like to see my character, and it also provides you a wider angle view of the world, so it gives you a little bit of
that's-
an advantage.
That's cool.
Yeah.
My
Now-
favorite thing that I think is going to change this squad's gameplay considerably is this proximity chat thing where you can have your enemies hear you when you're talking. So like we're in a tactical situation, we're trying to like attack another
would be
team.
like, no way, no.
Because you'll be like, Ken, shh,
Hey, it's
Ken,
not
come
just
over
me, buddy boy.
But then the other
Yeah.
thing, so that's cool, is like you can hear your enemies. The enemies can hear you when you're around them. But the other thing is you can, you know how like we'll play the four of us, we'll play with a bigger
hearing,
group.
even though
You
you're
hear
in a
them
party,
talk.
like they hear our party talking.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Hold
Isn't that
on.
crazy?
Interesting.
Hold on. If
Ken's
we
gonna refute it.
were to use the game chat.
Oh yeah, you have to go
Then-
into the game audio.
Then
yeah.
that would work for us. But we typically get ourselves in a little private party, and then they wouldn't hear us, we wouldn't hear them. But you have to be in the game chat to be able to make that work. And
Yep.
there's some advantages to that. Obviously, you can kind of hear them talking outside the wall or something, like that. But this lends itself into the gulag. Change the gulag.
Oh yeah.
Now it's 2v2 in the gulag. So you are partnered up with someone you don't know, and you're
And-
both fighting for escape. So that proximity chat will come into play there to be able to talk to your partner.
And what else is in the gulag?
The jailer, there's an AI character called the jailer. If you kill the jailer and steal the keys, you can get out as well. So there's two opportunities to get out. Either you and your team beat the other two-person team, or you kill the jailer, get the keys, and leave. So
This is too much for Josh.
I think it's gonna be.
We're not
There's
done
a
yet.
lot,
Why is it?
man.
Why is it too much for me? Why? Expand
Jason,
on that,
he's-
please.
Because you like the game just the way it is. Okay.
No,
this
I
is
didn't
just
say
adding.
that. I didn't say
Jason,
that at all.
So let's talk about the kill streaks in Modern Warfare 2. You'll enjoy this, Josh. There's a list of about 40.
Willie.
40.
So here we go. It starts with, we'll start from bottom to top, the UAV. We all love the UAV. We know what that does. There's a bomb drone. The new bomb drone has C4 attached to it. So it's very cool. So you're flying around with a C4 bomb, similar to what we had in Rampage, whatever that was before. You have a counter UAV, which we're used to, a care package. It's a random kill streak. We're used to that. Precision airstrike cruise missile, as Jason would say.
Cruise missile.
We have a mortar strike, right, which we're used to. There's something called SAE, which is a trio of jets, which I think is basically very similar to Strafe Run, Josh. All right, we got so Sentry Gun, VTOL, Overwatch Helo, which is an escort helo that will watch over your position and ping enemies. So it's not shooting them, but it's spotting them.
Right.
There's the Wheelson. Remember that one?
Oh
Wheelson.
no, I hate that
But
thing.
listen, the Wheelson is a remotely controlled amphibious vehicle with auto sentry capabilities, meaning you'll go in the water. By the way, floating mines in the water too, by the way. Saw that in the video. So if you throw a mine, like a proximity mine out, it floats behind you if you're being chased by boats.
So the Wilson is the RCXD.
With,
Yes.
but
No,
it's
no,
like
'cause
the
here-
smart.
think
No,
about
it's
it,
got the
okay?
gun on it.
But do you drive it? Because you mentioned auto sentry. So is it drive itself and shoot itself, or do you
good
have
question.
to drive it? And it shoots
No,
and
the
shoots
wheels.
itself?
Well, the old
Wheelson
Wheelson
we had
used
to
to
drive
drive
and
and
shoot.
shoot.
It
Yeah.
sounds like it can do both. It sounds like you. And we'll see. Maybe you can drive it, and maybe you can say stay.
Which, if it's auto, I like it. If it's
Right.
not,
We
because
also
I
have
don't,
stealth bomber. Calls in a bomber
Which-
that releases a large line of explosives along its path.
Yep.
Chopper gunner, which we're of course used to. Emergency airdrop, which is 3 random kill streak care packages at your location. 3.
Wow.
Yep.
Gunship, which we're used to. Advanced
Love that.
UAV, and then Juggernaut. It's the last one.
A lot of those were in Modern Warfare, like the stealth
Yeah.
bomber, the
Yes.
emergency airdrop. Those were in there. But yeah, those. Hey, look, they sound cool, for sure.
Yeah. And then
Um,
there's the DMZ mode, which is another one they've come out with. There's a bunch of I think it's really this is a whole. It seems like a whole new game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds
DMZ
like
is a mode alongside Battle Royale in Warzone. Okay, so it's a Warzone game type, and it is the entire map is available to you. You can choose to engage other players or not. You can just spend the entire time just investigating the island because there's a lot of things to find. There's a lot of there's strongholds that are guarded by AI, and when you get into the stronghold, there's a lot of free stuff that you can claim. You can also get there's apparently a some of them or all of them will contain a, for lack of a better term, a code that will let you get into an even deeper stronghold or a hidden treasure type location. So but there's a lot of there's like 4 or 5 things, missions, games you can play within the DMZ. You could do like a plunder. You can do like a battle royale. There's different missions you can do within DMZ, and you don't really have to interface with other people if you don't want. Which is
So
kind of
that's like the NBA. That's the 2K Park thing that we talked, right?
very
That
similar.
we kind of
Yeah.
talked. Yeah.
I think that's the one I'm going to probably spend the most time on, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What
well,
about-
Yeah. I mean, it sounds.
Vehic-
Oh,
what
and,
about
to, and to
vehicles?
get out of
Oh, good
DMZ
Good point.
is extraction. So once you're done playing or you've done what you wanted to do, you can actually call it an extraction and get out of the game. So it's an interesting thought. And they didn't give too many details about DMZ, to be all honest with you. But so more to come.
Okay. Well, I mean, this sounds to me pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And yes, Jason, the variety and the changes. And I'm looking forward to you one weekend saying it's the worst game ever. And then the next week you'll say, "Oh, I love this game." And then the next
And then
week
back
you'll
to
say,
I hate it. And oh my gosh, guys, have you played Vanguard in a while? This game's amazing.
"That's right."
That's the
So,
beauty of discovering a
as-
game that you paid for that you like again. So there you go.
All right.
As
Can I
we
mention a
get
couple more
through-
things, or do you guys have other things you want to talk about with Call of Duty?
Oh,
No,
We've got a couple
I
of
was
I have-
gonna,
I
I
have
was gonna
one more
shift
thing.
to
All right,
grid.
yeah,
Jason,
when Jason
talk-
has
bring,
one,
up
Jason
your,
has one.
bring up your Call of Duty topic.
Yeah, I had one that's too teed up, and I didn't get to get to it. But I
Knock
sent
out
it to you
Jason.
guys.
Knock it out.
So if you saw, they completely redid the gun customization experience, where it's super beautiful. You go choose the type of gun. If you're going to choose an AR, let's say, it opens up the sort of case where the main platform of the gun is. You get to spin it around. It looks gorgeous in this room on this table, and then you can go through the various components as they were mentioning to customize it. And what's cool is as you are customizing and adding things onto that gun, as you go through the game and you find those things, it stays with your gun, the stuff that you find. So in some cases you earn it because you've gotten great with that gun. You've gotten a certain number of kills or kill streaks or whatever. Or you may find this stuff and you can add this attachment on your gun and they stay on your gun. But the experience of actually going in there, I could see us just spending a lot of time in there customizing our guns, which can be a little bit frustrating because we're so good at gun customizations right on the fly. Like we're getting ready to go into a map, and I know Josh does this all the time. Josh is like, "This is not the right weapon for this. I'm going to make a few adjustments," and then he's back into the game. This looks super sophisticated. It doesn't look like something you would go quickly do. You have to get your gun exactly how you want it, and then use it for the game in its entirety. It won't be a quick switch sort of thing. At least that's what it
Yeah.
looked like in the.
Well, I saw. It's funny you say that because I saw one of the guys. There's one of the guys I follow on YouTube who's a big grind guy. He grinds out all of the camos to get the diamonds, whatever. And
Like
I think
Ken.
they're really, yeah, like Ken. Like Ken's a big grinder. They're trying to figure out. He eats grinders. That's different. They're trying to figure out.
Let's keep going.
Oh, as do I. I like grinders too. They're trying to figure out what the camo grind will be because, like, you think about it, like you got to get one in everything. So it sounded like when they were talking about it, like you and they were talking about it on the live stream. So everything goes within that class. So you don't have to get it for every gun in every class, right? Which that's got to make the game more fun, right? Because
I think so.
It's just having to go get the same stuff for every gun in the class in order to get the whatever. Now I don't know, but they're still going to have some hard grind. So for those of you that out there that don't know, if you do as you get all the parts you can have on a gun, you also get all the camouflage patterns. Once you get all of those, you unlock the gold gun, and then eventually for every class you get the diamond encrusted gun. They did say something about, and Ken, I don't know if you remember this, it was like adaptive, maybe talk about this, but the adaptive, you can have 3 attach points or maybe 5 attach points or maybe 8 depending on what you've earned and how you've earned it in the game. I gotta go back and look, but it looks like it's going to be really, really different than what we're used to with the
They had something
Overwatch,
similar.
Overkill, whatever.
They had something similar on previous iterations where when you had a low level gun, like if it's level 1 through 5 or whatever, you only have like 3 attachment points. But as you level it up to version 10 or whatever, then they'll open up, okay, now you can change your stock or something else. So But another thing I wanted to mention though is that they don't have loadout drops anymore, so you can't like put
That's
a
right. That's what I was trying to remember.
customized gun into a loadout, and then expect that when you're in the game you'll get a loadout drop and get your game or get your gun.
Hold on.
Because remember, some of these
Hold
games, I think Battle Royale, you go in with a pistol. You
Yeah.
have to find guns along the way. So you can't get a loadout drop to get your customized gun that you've ranked up. So everybody kind of starts from
That's
scratch,
I like that.
which is I think a good thing.
Back
Yeah,
Back to
it is
the-
weird. It's going to be weird though.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't use the loadout drops that much though, but because you usually find good stuff in the crates. But back to that grinding thing, I remember Ken. I think you and I were the ones that were on this the most, and I don't remember which version it was. It might have been Modern Warfare, where they had a really good daily challenge system, and they kind of lost it, which I liked it, and I'm
Yeah,
hoping that
so
they do bring that back.
I'm expecting now that it's gone back to Infinity Ward that we will start seeing that again, because the daily challenges that would get you either double XP for an hour, or it would give you another attachment for a gun, or a new gun, or something. That's part of the game. That's part of it that dragged me into the game. It was the completionist in me trying to get all of these challenges, and they were not impossible. But in Vanguard, they have a version of that, but it's almost impossible to get those. And I don't know if it's because they changed the rate of increase when you get XP or whatever, but it is a pain in the butt. So I'm not a big fan. I'm hoping that you're right. I hope they do bring that back from like Cold War.
Yeah, because
that one had a good one.
It brings out the competitive juice, because sometimes you can pick like as challenging as you want. Like you can pick from a bunch, so you can either I want something easy, or I want to. You have to kill somebody with a grenade and then headshot and all in the same life. Like those are ones that are nuts, but they're achievable.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they bring that.
So instead
back.
of the loadout drops, though, they do have special buy boxes. We call them buy boxes, I guess. They call it, quote, the shop. You can actually, if you find these and you go in there, you'll have some money that you can spend to upgrade the gun that you have either found or purchased before. So that is where you could do a lot of your customizations and get some of that stuff as well.
I just discovered something like that link. I don't know if it was Ken or Stu that put the links of all the things. Stu,
Me. Yeah.
the vehicle customization stuff. You guys should read about each vehicle. Like, here's an example that totally changes the game. The heavy chopper, it's like this big, massive chopper, a pilot, and as many troops as you can fit in the cargo bay. So, like, if you pulled up next to a spot where there's a bunch of people in a game where it's like, one side versus the other, you could pick up. And then the other one that was super cool is like this Zodiac. You can fit the captain that's on the engine in the back, and you get a couple of people that can sit on the seats, 3 seated, and then you can have one flat body passenger that's laying sort of on the side with the gun out the front.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, it's not just, like, oh, there's an ATV, so there's a driver and someone on the back. There's a, like an AT, or like a, whatever you call it. I can't think of the one that's like the 4-person one. But I think there's going to be some good variety in the vehicles themselves and what you can do on the vehicles. That'll be fun.
I like that. And can we also? And I think I noticed we didn't get invited to the launch, by the way. But we're maybe next year with our viewership, we'll get to be in there. But I do think this is basically a whole new game, right? I mean, this isn't an iteration or a season. This is a whole new game, and I think this is a reaction to Vanguard.
Yeah. So from what I understood, they've been working on this for 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And especially Warzone, they've actually had multiple companies working across the globe on that map. So, I'm pretty excited about it. A couple more things. The vehicles, when you mentioned vehicles, I assume this is across the board with ground control or ground war and Warzone, but the vehicles will run out of fuel.
Ooh.
and you have to find a gas station
Yes.
to fill up the.
Oh, come on.
No, that's
And
true. I
In
heard that
addition
too.
to that, they can shoot out your tires, but you can repair your tires out in the wilderness. You know, if you don't have to go to a shop to fix your tires, but some of the other damage to your vehicle, you will have to find a gas station
Please.
and repair them at the gas
Dude,
station.
I'm
Please
so
tell
into
me
this
we
game.
can. Please tell me we can do the redneck fix of put a little gasoline there, light it, and watch the tire fill the frame. Please tell me that works. Because it does work, by the way. And by the way, also heartbeat sensors are batteries. So the battery runs out in your heart. You're going to use it so many times where you lose your heartbeat sensor.
Yes. Yeah. So some of stuff like that. I think the drones are the
come
same
on.
way. I think the drones are the same way that they
Now-
will actually run out of energy or
Yes.
power.
Now we are all, and there's also there's a cow prod type of thing that also I think has batteries. We are all Xbox players, as we have talked about before. Let's pour one out for PlayStation, because this is the last time. Hopefully, they're going to get pre-released beta on us in the future. If Microsoft.
And you know
gets
what's
their hands
funny
on us.
about that? I saw an article that PlayStation players are disappointed in what they get.
That was ungrateful.
Because so obviously during the beta they have these awards that as you level up your character you get some free awards and stuff like that. Well, they're disappointed in what they're getting, even though they get a full weekend of beta before anybody else does. So I was a bit angry when I saw that headline, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother reading this article, but I was pretty upset. But anyway, two more things. Warzone, the gas circle for Battle Royale can split, meaning you'll have multiple circles. So they showed one that when it got down to like level 3 or something, it splits into three separate
That's cool.
circles, and then those get smaller and move around. And then at the very end, they merge into a much smaller circle on the center.
That's
So it's
real.
the interesting thing he said when they were talking about that was that if you're in your circle and you've cleared your circle, you know that there are two other circles that you have to now merge with before the end. So you just move with your circle. It's a very interesting way to do it. I'm really
Who will
excited to
get
see how
really
that
good
turns
at
out.
that? Of the four of us, who will get really good at
Stuart.
that? Stuart.
I'm the navigator. I think the cool thing about that will be it will give us a better chance to actually win Warzone, because if we can clear our circle and get into a circle, and then those other circles get small enough that it's going to be down to like one team. You're basically when you get together, it's 3-on-3, right? It's going to be and then the question is, what do you have to have? Are you going to have UAVs? You're going to have cluster strikes. You're going to have. I mean, it's going to be cool to think of the strategy. I think that's a brilliant change to the game. Brilliant.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about something that they dropped
one
the ball
second.
on.
Wait, Josh has
Hold
something.
on one second.
Josh has
Here's something I'm a
provocative
little
to
bit
say.
skeptical about.
Is it provocative?
Oh,
I'm curious to
here
see
we
how
Here
this
we
is
go.
going to work. I was listening to you talk about the gas, filling up the tanks, and repairing.
Vehicles.
I'm just curious to see how big the map is and how much action is going on that you're going to have time to pull over, fix the truck,
That's
fix
fun
the
for me,
tire. But,
Well, first
but
of all,
I mean,
we're professional.
I'm not
We have
saying
a
it's not a
seat.
great. I'm not saying it's not a great feature. I'm just curious to see in practice, will that actually be something that is
Maybe.
doable?
Yeah, it's
We'll
fair
see.
point.
From my
We'll see.
understanding, the map is huge, bigger than any of the map they've had before. And from my understanding, that the gas stations are not plentiful, but there are enough of them to be out of the line of fire to be able to do this. So that is the
reminds me
impression,
of-
but we'll find out.
It reminds me of the mode. I can't remember which one it is where you get in the. It's the one where you're in the armored vehicle,
Yep.
and then
Yep. And you go
like
to
where you
repair
you
shops
could
to get it
jump
repaired.
outside and repair it. Like that was well done. I
That
hope
was
it's
fun.
similar.
Yeah,
I suspect it'll be like that. Now, here's one thing that disappoints me. Well, two things. But first thing is Warzone doesn't come until November 16th. So the game releases in October, 28th? But the Warzone 2.0 does not get released until November 16th.
Oh, whoa, hold on.
Yeah, that happened
So-
last time.
No, I know, but actually, I'm just remembering something. So beta is this weekend, and
For
next weekend
PlayStation.
for us for PlayStation. But is that like all game modes or just multiplayer? Just what's available
Only
in
certain
beta?
map. Only I think there's 5 maps. I think
Just like multiplayer.
they're doing
I
Warzone.
believe
so I think-
so. Let me see what the beta thing says.
Now,
here.
is while you're looking that up, Ken, if you remember last time, I have a light out in here. If you remember last time, the beta went away before the launch.
yeah.
Is that going to
It'll
happen
be
again?
gone for it's going to be gone. Well, the game doesn't release until October 28th or something, and the beta is over by November 24th, I think. So there will be a gap, a significant gap, like a month-long gap before the game is.
So Jason,
released.
make sure you download the game. Okay, let's not run
already
into this
downloaded it.
problem.
Has everybody?
Well,
we already-
I do have a problem.
Oh,
Available
Because
here we
space.
go.
No, because I get back late Thursday when it launches Thursday. Like, when can I download it? Let me ask
It's
you that.
my
Ken.
wife's
Beta?
birthday, and I'm playing.
Now,
Hold on, no. Hold on. When can I download the game? I'm only
Now.
asking Ken because the rest of you
Now.
jokers don't know.
what? I've downloaded it already.
Oh, you get the bits, but you can't do anything with the bits. Okay,
True.
so if I buy it and download it now,
Right.
then if I bring my Xbox with me next weekend, then I'll be able to play with you guys in the beta. Okay, I'll buy it tonight.
I'm sure that'll all go swimmingly.
Yeah, I know you're trying.
I won't
to,
get any
you
grief
don't
from
want
you.
You don't want to try to download
Ding
all that
dongs.
stuff when you're on the
Yeah.
hotel Wi-Fi, right?
That's right.
Right.
It's weird because I bought it.
It's going to take
bought it.
3 days, 26
No,
hours.
listen, Stu.
26 hours.
I bought it, but then it said I've already owned it. But then every time I go back, it says there's a download error. So I got to figure out there's an error in the purchase. So I got to figure out what's going on.
This isn't going to work well for me.
Ken,
You got
send
no
the
error, Ken?
instructions out, Ken. Come on, we need it in the
No,
text.
scroll up, Josh. It's in the feed. Scroll
Hey,
up.
I'm the one that reads the texts, all right? I don't need to scroll up.
I didn't open myself up for ridicule from my friends. Okay, that's not right.
That's all right. That's
Stu
too
is the
bad.
worst reader of the legacy
Text
posts.
messages.
All right,
Yeah.
so
I'm an engineer. I'll figure it out.
let's
What
keep
else you
this
got?
truck moving. So it sounds like there's tons of fun to come on Modern Warfare 2, which we will of course keep this updated.
It worked.
No, real Ken. Ken, I just saw. I went to look for the game. Sorry. There's a game coming called Construction Simulator, and there's a Caterpillar truck.
Yeah, I'm sure there
Is it actually Caterpillar?
it is. It says cat.
It says cat on it. Yeah,
That's
I know,
right.
We do have a game.
real right.
Sorry, Josh. You're in charge.
Train is off the tracks, team. So okay, so we'll keep update. We'll keep playing the betas and all that good stuff, and keep everyone updated. But it sounds like we all did download a new game to try out. I think we all did. Grid Legends.
Do you want to take a break first?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we should take a break because Jason is, I don't know what he's doing with his metaverse book, but let's take a break. We'll be right back and talk about Grid Legends.
And we're
And
back.
we're back. And we're back with Mr. Metaverse. So Grid Legends, I think we've all downloaded that and played it. I actually like the game because I was talking to Stuart, and why is that? Why am I getting bullied? Everyone's putting baby in a corner here. Like
Because you're like
I-
Vanguard or nothing.
No,
that's so not true.
Jason. Josh.
Ken and I
please
are trying to
continue.
expand this group's horizons.
Holy-
And you guys,
I have played every game that has been recommended. Just because I don't have to like every game. Not
Josh.
everybody has to agree. We can have our own opinions. Stuart, let me go.
Josh, he's trying to get an intro to you. Stop it.
We can have our own opinions. Okay? We don't have to like the same thing unless it's Call
Okay.
of Duty. Next.
Did
You
you
said
download
duty.
Dirt 5?
Okay,
I did.
hold on. Let's stop on Grid first.
Okay, come on.
Ken's
Let's keep
like,
the train on the
like I
tracks,
said.
boys. All right. Grid Legends. I'll tell you I liked it because it's a really good mix of arcade and simulation. It's not too nutso on the simulation, but it's not so arcadey where you bounce off the wall and do flips and stuff.
right.
And
The
there's
first,
it
time you
seems like
race.
there's good customizations and things you can do. So I haven't played it a ton, but I do enjoy it.
and you haven't played with anyone else yet? Because
No,
that,
not yet.
to me,
I couldn't figure out how to do it.
That to me is actually, yes, you're correct on the arcade. You know, it's easier to race if you've not done it before. The first race in, you're
Yeah.
not bouncing off the walls. But the gameplay with your friends is a blast because the entire time you're talking, trash to your friends and cracking
Right.
up. It's fun.
I agree. I would agree, and I've been playing it a decent amount. Trying to get out of semi-pro. It's done by Codemasters, who are some of the best race simulators ever. Codemasters goes all the way back to the Amiga days, I think. Back to the Amiga
Colin
days. These guys
McRae.
are, yeah, that's right. These guys are, they had the old Grand Prix Legends, which was the great one with the old Lotus cars. Those things, would go 200 miles an hour, had no wings. Like you go over a hill and it would just go, fly. So
The entire
far,
Dirt
mechanics
series.
are good. Yeah, exactly. It sounds good. I'm also sort of on the semi-arcade version right now because I can't imagine. I don't know. Controllers are hard with cars, but it's been fun and I've enjoyed it. And other than that, I mean, you start to earn cars and then you can do whatever. But I like the breadth and depth of the game, and I think there's a ton of online stuff we can do. So I'm excited about trying that one out more.
So wait, I thought this had some EA connection. Am I thinking of the wrong thing?
No,
Ken?
it is. Codemasters
it is.
developer.
Oh, got it. Okay.
They're the design shop, and Codemasters. You can go there like Codemasters.com.
Yeah, I'm on their website. I didn't realize they made all these games.
They're old school, man. They've been around forever. If I remember right, and I could be wrong, but the Codemaster guys were the guys that did their own sim games. Yeah, like they were. They I think, and I could be wrong, but I'll go back and look. They grew out of the forums in the old days on Sims, and then just basically decided to develop their own. Right? They're those kind of guys.
Yeah, I
They did
want to.
F1.
I
Yeah,
want
they
to
do
figure
F1.
out how to get into a game with somebody and race.
Maybe we'll do it tonight.
Okay, that sounds like fun. So
And now,
yeah, so
Ken,
that's a good one to
Dirt
try.
is the rally version of it.
Yeah, so Grid Legends is pretty much a tarmac racing game, which is fun. I've never been a real big fan of tarmac racing, much to Stuart's chagrin, but I've always preferred off-road. And so Dirt 5 is the latest iteration of the entire Dirt series made by Codemasters, and it's all rally racing. They made all the Colin McRae games, which were real popular early on. And I encourage you guys to download it. I played the first race. It's loads of fun. It reminds me of Grid Legends in that the driving is not overly complicated. It is a free for all type thing as well. So it's loads of fun. I could see that being a lot of fun for all of us.
That's like where you can power slide into the turns and stuff like that. You
and
gotta
not only that is if you have your viewpoint from inside the car, you will have to use your wipers to get the mud off your windshield.
Oh, that's awesome.
And if you
That's
have
cool.
the 3/4 view behind, sometimes the mud will splash up on the camera. Not like
that's
covering
cool.
your view, but you'll just get like spots, kind of like the whole water effect that they typically do on some other stuff.
Is it download? I thought you said it was cloud. No, it's a download.
Dirt 5 is a cloud. Yeah, you could play that cloud version if you want to just test it and see if you like it.
Yeah.
I downloaded it just because I wanted to see what all the visuals would be like, the high res stuff.
Yeah, my Xbox got commandeered by NBA 2K23. My son.
Oh,
I haven't
that's good.
actually sat down and seen it yet. I'll probably do that tonight.
Yeah,
Just
you
to
got to
check
give
it
us an
out. But
update on that.
yeah, he's all over. He's been playing it nonstop.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I'll report back on that one.
Maybe
How
we
about
can-
he comes to report?
Oh,
that's what I was saying. Bring him
now
on.
that's a good
Right?
idea.
Because
I'll
he sure has a
check
lot to
that out.
say about our technique.
I'm
show
fine
and
to
our-
open him up
yeah.
to the lions. That's fine with me.
That's right. Come
We're
on.
gonna have
in.
to have like a millennial or Gen. What are they? Gen Z now
Yeah, I think they're
Gen
Gen,
Z
Z.
trans-
Gen
Translator
Z.
on this thing.
They're better.
That's
yeah,
right.
They're better.
Yeah.
He's so sliv.
Slay.
Slay.
NBA 2K
Sliv,
slays.
is that a word too?
Oh yeah,
Slay.
sliv. It's sliv and slay. I don't know what the difference is.
Oh,
And I may have said something I-
Oh, great.
Say
Yeah,
you may
exactly.
have said something
I
offensive.
may
You
have
don't
to
even know.
bleep this section out now.
Hold on, let me look it up.
Oh, he's gonna look
Oh
it up.
boy.
I will say
Urban
this: I'm looking at Codemasters' list
Oh, it
of
means
games.
awesome. It's actually
Okay.
it's oh
Sliv. Maybe not.
man, those kicks are sliv.
Oh god,
Yeah, they are.
they're clean.
Clean.
They're clean.
But-
clean.
clean.
Guys, I'm gonna paste this
Okay.
definition
All right,
from the Urban
great.
Dictionary.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah,
Don't.
that's
Oh,
your
boy.
Go ahead
All
and
right.
click that.
Don't
I didn't
do
read the
it.
definition, but let's just say it's they're awesome. They're good.
So, just real quick, I was looking at. I put the link in there for the Codemaster
Oh,
games going back
geez.
to 1986. By the way, they made a game called Fruit Machine Simulator. We got to go play that game.
Fruit machine. What is a fruit machine?
Oh, that's not a good word.
Right.
I don't know. Let's go see. What is it? It was on the Amiga. I don't recall having it. It does not have a Wikipedia page.
Yes,
That's a bad
Stuart,
sign.
we know you had an Amiga.
I did, Jason. Did you know that?
I did, and I think our listeners know that from 17 episodes.
So let's wind this
Paul
sucker
Thurrott.
down, yeah. I have an interesting observation. I don't know how interesting, but I have an observation. I won't say that it's interesting.
Josh
I
answers
was
his own
at-
question he's about to ask.
I was huh? Did I answer something?
Well, you said I had an interesting observation. Well, I don't know if it's an interesting observation, but then you have that.
No, because I didn't want to assume that it would be interesting to anyone. So I said it's just an observation. You can decide if it's interesting. So I was down in Dunedin and I saw this bar. It was called Reboot Arcade.
Okay.
And I was like, cool, I got to check this thing out. I sent you guys the pictures. And I walked in and there was games and pinball and there was some, they had, Donkey Kong and stuff like that. But the atmosphere wasn't anything like the Replay Museum for some reason. And
Because it's when you mix in the alcohol.
No,
makes it a
there was
bar?
nobody. There was nobody in there, and I wasn't even drunk. So
I think you texted us at like 1:00 in the afternoon on a Friday.
yeah, and so does that mean I'm drunk?
Jason.
During
Jason?
Continue. Would you?
Anyway, what's your observation about Reboot Arcade?
The sounds in Replay Museum. When you walk in, everything's turned up, and you hear all the sounds.
Yeah.
It's a completely different experience than walking in something that's completely quiet. Even though
Was it quiet?
it's all the cool games. Yes.
Ken and I
they
playing
turned down the
track and field.
They must have turned down the volume. It just was such a I didn't even want to stay. It was just like, nah, this is not cool.
That is
Whereas like
interesting.
Replay, it's just like it just brings you immediately back to Showbiz Pizza Place, right? Where
Yes.
the sound or Chuck E.
tells
Cheese or
me
whatever
that,
it was.
That tells me that, Replay Museum was obviously a museum that focused on the games. That was the focus of the entire thing. Whereas this Reboot Arcade trying
was
to
a bar in the
capitalize,
middle.
Yeah, it was trying to capitalize on this new trend of arcade game, retro arcade games.
Yeah.
But they wanted to sell alcohol and food or whatever. So,
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about that idea. That makes me a little mad.
When you come down here, maybe we can take a trek over there and see that. But
I'll go in there and I'll cause a ruckus.
No ruckus is why you're here, please.
I'll find out where the volume switches are and I'll turn them all up.
it just was a very bland experience. So that's
unfortunate.
Yeah, and that's not what you want. You want that experience of that you had in the arcade as a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
So Replay again. If you're in the Tampa St. Pete Clearwater area, go to Replay Museum.
Yeah. This is what minute are we in? I can't see the timer. We have completely lost Jason. He is gone. He is no longer in the podcast.
He's bored with the conversation, so he's got shiny ball syndrome.
So this is it. So I think it's time either we completely mute Jason and turn his video off, or we should say let's call it quits on this one.
What I love the fact he's got a HoloLens and an Oculus behind him, and he's playing with an old Super 8 camera.
Right, exactly.
Isn't that cool though? I found that at a garage sale.
Is there a video on it? We'll see what
it
the video
actually still
is.
works.
Must be nice to have disposable income.
That is
So,
cool.
This thing
on
was
to-
like $10.
Wow.
You got another topic for us?
I think I don't know. We're at almost an hour. Do we have a movie? We could end with a movie. Does anyone have a movie?
Yeah, let's do a
idea
movie.
this
Let's
time?
come up with a movie. Let's pick up a theme. Let's think it on theme. What do we got? Josh, Ken hurt himself. Ken's hurt.
Oh no, Ken
Oh,
hurt.
I
himself.
got this pinched nerve in my neck.
Bursitis. He has bursitis.
Okay,
Ken
so
throws
how
right
about
on.
can we play on the sequel thing that Ken was admonishing me for not liking sequels?
That was a hot topic. Yes, let's go back to that.
Discussion.
Well, but it was good discussion eventually.
We could just say, what's your favorite sequel?
Yes, and Josh, do you want to go first
How's that?
on this since you own? And we know what yours is going to be, but go ahead.
All right, so hold on.
Do we?
Wait.
Empire
It's just
Strikes
your
Back.
favorite sequel of all time.
Okay.
Okay,
Who's going
Who's gonna
first? Me?
Josh, you go first.
I'm gonna curveball you. I'm gonna say Star Trek 2. I'm gonna say Wrath of Khan.
Okay, I didn't see that coming after the conversation. Ken's looking around.
I'm gonna say
He's
Wrath
like,
of Khan.
Where the hell did that come from?
Curveball you. I'm gonna exactly. Or the answer should have been the sequels are never as good as the original.
Yeah, dude.
No, Rathacon
And-
was a great example. I mean, come on, Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo Montalban.
He was the best looking Klingon ever.
Great. What?
He wasn't
What
a
was this?
Klingon.
What was this car commercial? What did he say? Rich Corinthian
Corinthian leather. We can't use Predator because the Predator I like is not the sequel.
So okay, you got yours.
Right.
Yours is
But we can-
yours is con. It's fine.
okay. That's
Why?
good. Why? I love that movie. I don't know why. It's
Okay.
my favorite. Like I'm not a huge Star Trek guy, but that's my favorite of the Star Trek movies
All right,
Sam, relax.
for sure.
Ken, do you have
Wait,
yours
Who's
yet?
next?
Wait, did you say he wasn't a Klingon?
Ricardo Montalban was not a Klingon.
Well, who was Khan?
Khan is not a Klingon.
No, they are. He is
Khan
a.
is a human. He is a superhuman. He's not a
That's
my
Klingon.
correct.
gosh.
That is correct. That is correct.
Frickin'
That is
dorks.
correct. They were genetically.
Right.
They were
How
genetically
dare you
genetically
challenge
created
me?
beings. Yes.
All right.
They were created to fight a war, and then when the war was over, they were dangerous. They wanted freedom, so they let them. It's very Blade Runner, Ken.
I was going to say it sounds a lot like Blade Runner. I have seen
Well,
the
that-
movie, but probably twice, and it's been a long time. But
Yeah,
I
the one-
can't disagree with you. There's some really iconic moments in that.
All right, so I think yours is a good choice. Jason, do you have your sequel?
I do.
Toy Story 2.
No.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Paddington 2.
Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2.
Good choice.
Of the Evil Deads, which are epic movies, Evil Dead 2 is the best of the Evil Deads. We've talked about it before, I think, on the show. I do love it. It's a freaking hilarious movie. That's
I
mine.
agree.
Okay, I think that's a good
That
choice.
one was So that one was done by Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. They
Correct.
were both
Bruce
students
Campbell.
in Michigan. One went to U of M, the other one went to Michigan State. They made Evil Dead on
See,
a very
people can get along, Ken.
they made the first Evil Dead on a shoestring budget, and it became a cult,
Kind of like a joke, right?
Yeah, it became a cult hit. So then they started getting money, and if you watch the first two, they're almost identical. The two movies are almost identical, 1 and 2, but 2 had a bigger budget, so it was much more.
And when we
appealing.
mean bigger budget, we're still not talking about a bunch.
No. But yeah, I really like all of those Evil Deads. They're just great lines. I mean, as a matter of fact, some of the lines from that movie actually made its way into video games when they talk about zombies and they talk about certain things. So that's a good one too. I like that.
Yep. All right, Ken, you want to go? Sorry, Josh. I don't mean to host.
No, it's okay. This train went off the tracks a long time ago.
Well, but you
right,
started with
Jason's
this one,
mine-
so since you went first, it would be rude if
Jason's
you continued
out
to host.
already. He's got dogs
ahead.
and
Go ahead,
8mm cameras and
All right, I'm going to go with Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Ooh, that
It
is a
not-
good one.
It's not the second film, but a
Wait a
sequel
minute.
is titled a continuation of a story.
it's a
My
good
wife would
movie.
agree with this choice.
The Last
a good
Crusade
movie.
is probably my best, and I think part of that is because Sean Connery is in it, and I loved him from all of the James Bond films. But he played a great character,
And Highlander.
The dialogue and the interaction between him and Harrison Ford was just
The
magic.
special
on screen.
effects were amazing.
It was
The
magic on
pen
screen.
is
I love
mightier
that.
than the sword.
I like it. I think it's a great choice.
So, Stuart, why don't you bring us home?
Well, I will, Jason. It's funny we didn't mention the ones we debated and fought over on when we were playing Xbox, which I think are great ones. I'm not going to pick them, and I'm going to go through them.
We should just do a whole. We
Godfather
should
Part
do
2,
Yeah, we should
one of
do
the
a
greatest
whole one.
movies of
on
all
them.
time. Not going to pick Empire Strikes Back, also the best Star Wars film of all time because George Lucas didn't direct it. There's so many great ones out there. I'm going to go with Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which I believe is the best Marvel movie ever made. Right now, I
You
will
hear
say
that
this.
thunder?
Yeah, I heard that. Captain America: First Avenger is a great movie, and this is what we talked about, Ken. I love that movie because it's what a Marvel movie
Great
should be.
movie.
Let's not talk about what they are these days, but it's what it should be. But Captain America: Winter Soldier is like Born Identity meets Captain America, and I thought it was well done
Bless you.
and well directed. So that's my favorite of the sequels. Though obviously there's so many great sequels. I mean, Jaws 2. Come on,
Not Jaws 3 and 3D.
which one was the revenge one? 4 or 2? It was 2. 2 was one where it was coming after his kid, right?
I don't remember. I lost
Jaws 2:
track
The
of
Revenge.
this.
I think it's
So I don't consider the Jaws movies sequels. And the
well,
reason
you
I
put a
don't
two-
is
you put a
because
2
the
behind it.
characters don't return. All it is another shark movie. So it even though it
Wow.
does carry on the theme, I don't think that it counts as sequels because it's not the same shark. There aren't the same people in the story. So I that's kind of where I draw the line, and that's where we started talking about. We get in a heated discussion about sequels and stuff like that.
Well,
'Cause I-
another one. Yeah, that's
have a
okay.
hard
That's fair.
time.
But it has a 2 behind it, so I think you got to go with it. But another one, Rocky 2. We talked about that one. That was a good one. Rocky 2 is.
I
what
still
was
don't
the
think
one-
Rocky 2
You've listed
Rocky
so many,
3.
Stu. Which
I don't
one
think
was
Rocky is a
yours?
great movie.
Yeah,
no,
he
no,
gets
mine,
to just
mine's Winter
go
Soldier.
through the whole list.
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
make sure
Clever-
I want to make sure that our fans understand that we could have chosen those ones and we didn't. I mean, I don't want them to think we're idiots.
Yeah, I mean,
More than they do.
Godfather 2. Rocky 3 is still the best Rocky, not Rocky 2.
Rotten Tomatoes. What would you guess Rotten Tomatoes says is the 100 best sequels? What's number
It's
one on Rotten Tomatoes? list?
Godfather Part 2.
Godfather 2.
It's Godfather.
You guys are going to freaking go ballistic. Paddington 2.
Oh, I mentioned it.
That's not.
Was that the one the Queen was in?
Yeah. Not cool.
What the hell?
Not cool.
Come on.
Oh, well, wait. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it, so I can't judge. Other than just
mean-
to say, like, it's a Paddington movie. Come on. Goldfinger
That's
was
way
number
better.
4.
You're going to
It's
alienate
way
our
better.
British
That's a good
audience.
one. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Godfather 2 is like number 7. Number 2 is Toy Story 2. I think someone mentioned that. Three
What
colors.
list are you reading?
Red.
Oh, you're going.
It's Rotten Tomatoes top
Yeah,
sequels of all time, top
Rotten
100.
Tomatoes, okay, yeah.
I say
And
it,
that, I
Paddington,
mean, that
Toy
goes on the
Story.
Rotten Tomatoes score. So
And
I guess
that's
there's
done
some
by viewers, right? That's
viewers
that's-
and critics. Viewers
does
and
count
critics.
critics?
So, yep,
You
critics
can't
get in on the rating
You cannot
system.
put Godfather Part 2 number 7 behind all those movies. Sorry, just I
No, I guess
Guys,
people that
disappoint
watch
you.
movies,
All right,
you know,
so I
probably
like
more than you do.
IMDb.
So.
They have Godfather Part 2 is number 1, Star Trek or Star Wars Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, Terminator 2, The Dark Knight. I forgot about those.
Yeah, that's
Dark
the other one.
Knight.
Aliens.
Wow.
Bride of Frankenstein.
Aliens. We forgot about Aliens.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, I forgot. You had Josh. You had mentioned The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That was actually a sequel.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
To Fistful
I
Dollars,
forgot
right?
about that.
Was
I'm
it
gonna have
sequel
to
to
look that
Fistful
one up.
Dollars?
I think it was. Yeah, I think Fistful of Dollars was the because I think the character, at least the Clint Eastwood character, was the same character.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
Back to the
Jason's
Future
excited.
2. We
Why is
didn't
your
mention
collar
any Back
up?
to the
Are
Future.
we, are we doing 80s movies? Why is your collar
Yeah,
up?
man. This is like cool, man. This
You
is
look like the- you look
clean.
like the prepper
This is
in every
clean,
80s
guys. That's
That's
clean.
one where I'm going to stick
gotta-
to my
we gotta close
the
this
sequel
up.
is not better than the
Did Jason
original.
just pull up in front of our house in a Porsche 944 to pick up our daughter? Is that what just happened?
928S, baby, and 928S.
So we'll. I think we should dig into the sequel thing next time. Let's do this a little more organized, and we can have
Put
some
it
of
in
those
the
tough
future
conversations.
topics.
We can talk about Predator versus Prey. Some of those other ones that we were going Top Gun
That's where the
versus
debate
Top Gun
started,
Maverick.
if I recall.
Top
Yeah,
Gun
it was
versus Top
also
Gun Maverick.
Top Gun and Maverick. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll hold that for the next time. But let's wrap this sucker up. We'll keep the updates coming on Modern Warfare. But for old guys, what, Jason?
No, go ahead.
For old guys playing games, I'm Josh.
I'm
Ken.
Stu.
Damn it, Stuart! Honestly, dude, look, he was so excited too. He thought he had it. That's the
my
best.
God.
Actually, did it
for
in
the
my
love
I
of
can't do
all
it. I
that's
can't do
holy.
it. I have a problem. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I
I'm-
actually did it in my head. I was actually doing my ABCs. I can't do it. I have a problem. Don't belittle me for my learning problem.
All right, when I come down in November, I'm going to put up a border in your office that has the alphabet on it.
I just
around
need the
your
4
walls.
names. That's all.
Yeah, just the four. Just the four
I need
in
to
order.
okay, I'm gonna. Can on the show notes? Can we just do it in the order it's going to be based on who's hosting and make my life easy?
We'd have no outtakes if we did that.
All right, start again.
Okay, let's just shoot this thing. For
Go.
old guys
Do it.
playing games, I'm Josh.
I'm Ken.
I'm Jason.
I'm Stu. And we're out.
See you next time. Bye.
Goodbye. Love you guys.
Oh yeah.